Alright, so we're up and running and we are out now. Amazing Dunwin. The sun has set and we are going home. Hopefully no one crashes into me. I can't see. This is this big freaking van. We're good. We're good. That was a nice sunset. Beautiful, really. Lots of people are out and gathering, which is nice, but scary, I guess. Yeah, just go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. There you go. Ay, ay, ay. It's beautiful, beautiful sunset. England, Minnesota Heat. It's the only one open. That's a nice drive that way, but it's away from home. So we're gonna go this way and back towards the house. There's it's now called Sandbar. It used to be called Flanders. A long time ago, we used to go there on the boat. When I lived in Englewood, briefly. I have fond memories of that time. I do. Weather is absolutely phenomenal today. Come on. Just go across the causeway. No coastal waterway. It's nice to see people out and about again. It is alarming to see how many people were in big groups. You know, when they're supposed to be maintaining social distance. I was the only one who was really by myself. I mean, I think it's kind of strange to go to the beach by yourself, but I like it. It's so peaceful. I can just relax and clear my head and listen to the water. I love that whole sound of the water. I always have something about it. I don't know. It makes me feel good or cured or whatever. At ease. I don't know how you would say. Renewed. Like, that's the best. I get the best word for it. Whoa. Bump. Ooh, I like these condos over here. I like being very close to the water. But other than that, they're really that either you do something involving the water, golf, obviously, tennis, or there's shopping, but there's not much else to do. There's some theater, but obviously all that is shut down right now. You never know about tennis. Tennis, I think in the private clubs has been shut down. I don't know if they'll let you in the parks or not yet. I mean, that park that we were just visiting just opened up today. Today was the first day of it being reopened. Here's some people walking across the street and they have masks on. You see that? Like, I haven't seen that very much. I don't know if you can see them. They're there. In the pink shirt, they have masks on. I'm like, really? We haven't seen that much here. People really, that's why it was so startling for me, especially because I had just taken that trip to New York right after this all started. Like, while I was up there, as a matter of fact, I got the message that I was laid off due to the COVID-19, yada yada. While I was up there, you know, people it was like a ghost town, you know. It was they were taking it so seriously, and everything was locked down, you know, yada yada yada. And then I get back to Florida, and it's like life as normal, like life as usual, and it should not have been that way, you know. I mean, there was a huge delay in response, and like all of a sudden now, you know, some people are taking it seriously. Like my mother yelled at me today for having my friend over. Like that's just her way of being controlling, but she uses that as an excuse, you know. But she's still going to play golf every day, all the time with their friends, every day, like every other day, whatever it is, you know. And it's just so funny to me. So some people are taking it seriously. They have like the stores, you can't go shopping. It's like Walmart, Target, Publix, Walgreens, or CVS. That's it, pretty much, and like gas stations. So you can't buy any clothes unless you go to Target. I mean, I can find some stuff there if I need to. Luckily, I don't need to really buy anything. I don't know, but then there's all these sales, of course, in my inbox, in my email, because, you know, no one's shopping, therefore everything's going on sale. Retailers are taking a huge hit, obviously, so they're trying to liquidate, get rid of everything and sell it. And so I wound up purchasing some things online. Like I got this new bag. It's really nice. I wanted that bag for a long time, and it was $800 and something, and I got it for $2 something. That's a deal. I was quite proud of that. That's really nice. So excited. I don't know that Dearborn. Oh, that's the back way if I want to go to River Road, I think, but I don't really know that way, so we'll just stick to the way we know. I don't know, because I didn't drive down here for such a long time, I really don't know the roads that well. Basically, I'm getting better, obviously. As time goes by, I'm learning my way, but, you know, I don't know my way around this area. And it doesn't help that everything looks similar, and it's all, you know, laid out in a grid-like fashion with 90-degree angles, turns, and just nothing remarkable around. It's all flat. It's like living in 2D. I don't know how else to explain it. It's very bizarre. Below sea level. I mean, there's homes being washed away. Like, you know, some of the other videos that we've posted of when we go on those drives out to Casey Key, you know, those houses are on land with very, very little beach, and it's eroding, you know, as we speak. And constantly will continue to until there's nothing left, and then it falls in the ocean eventually. I mean, it's just crazy to me. How can people sell that land? And then you don't own the land beneath the ocean, do you? The ocean takes over your land. Do you now own that land? I wonder how that works. There must be. I don't know. I would be interested to find out. I obviously have to do some research. That would be crazy. Obviously not if you flooded your property to have a pond, that would be like on a small scale, but like if the Gulf of Mexico, you know, erodes your weird that I used to live over here in Inglewood, because that seems like a lifetime away for me. You know, I mean, things are so different now than they were then. And I took my life for granted, and really, I don't know what was wrong with me. I was so unhappy with myself. I don't know why. I had everything I needed. Like, I don't know what was missing. I don't know. I guess I just needed to go through some stuff. I don't know why. But it's interesting. It changes you. And now, things are different. I just remember being over here on this side of town, so I would drive up constantly, because this would be the route back to my parents' house from where I was living at the time, which was on the water over there. It's very nice. It was very nice indeed. Actually, I had about 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, pool. Obviously, it was on the water. We had multiple boats. We had like 3 boats. All of his kids. Oh my God, they would do crazy stuff. They would get drunk, play beer pong in the living room 2 in the morning, and I was like, what the hell is going on? They're breaking all the beer. I'm like, what the hell? And then the mom would get mad at me. She signed away $90,000 worth of alimony because, and this was based on a relationship that didn't last, okay? So she signed a binding legal agreement giving up alimony, $90,000 a year, which is what she would have gotten in alimony alone just from him, because she didn't want her kids to be near me. So, and we had only been together like 3 months at that point, and we didn't last like another 3 more, you know? It's just crazy to me. What a stupid, stupid woman. Like, and you know what is so ironic about the whole thing? Is that she ran away, she didn't run away, but like, she like hooked up, like had an affair on Brian, with a guy that worked with her, but she was a pharmacist at Walgreens, and he was like a clerk, like a stock boy. And then I wound up dating Brett, and he was a photo boy and essentially a clerk and a stock boy at Walgreens, but a different one, thankfully. But, you know, if I do ever go to that Walgreens, I will say that Maria is her name, the wife. They were divorced. Okay, they weren't technically divorced when we met. They were separated, however, and living separately because she cheated on him with Stockboy. Their divorce wasn't finalized at that moment. So they were going through those proceedings while we were dating, and that's why I was even included in the discussion of the alimony. You know, so that'll give you a little background. But I remember I came to her house to do some pressure washing. I did his house on Friday, and here was the arrangement. We already had them booked. This is what I was doing for side cash, pressure washing houses back then. So on Friday I had his house booked, and then on Monday he had booked his wife's house because it was technically his property too, since the divorce wasn't finalized and the proceedings were still ongoing. So this was already planned. So the company had booked Friday for us to be there. So I went there Friday and I met him, and it was Super Bowl weekend, and he asked me out on a date, and we went, and we went on a date. It was Super Bowl weekend, yada yada, and I wound up meeting his kids at the Super Bowl party that we attended together. And the kids, you know, were fine, whatever. It was at a friend of his. I don't remember who at this moment, but they were pretty close. He's some guy who'd done prison time, which was a weird friend for him to have because he was a banker. So he didn't have a lot of friends that were like kind of shady, you know. Most of his friends were pretty boring. But anyway, they coached football together. So the kids, the next morning, so after the Super Bowl was Sunday, we went on our date Friday Saturday. We went on our date Saturday, went to the Super Bowl party Sunday, and then Monday I was scheduled to pressure wash her house, her property, which was also his property. Do I mean again? Because they were still in the divorce proceedings at this point in time, and I just went about my business as usual and just played it cool, pretending like I didn't know anything. You know what I mean? Like I didn't do anything. And then she figured out who I was because the kids woke up and they noticed me and they recognized me from the Super Bowl party, and they said, "Oh yeah, that's the girl Dad was seeing over the weekend." And it was like, oh God, she came out, confronted me. It was so, I didn't know what to do because I was nervous and like, but at the same time, like I didn't know what to do. And she was just, I just burst out laughing. Like I didn't know what else to do because this lady was like yelling at me for going out with her ex-husband. I'm like, what? And pressure washing her house. Like I wasn't trying to be unprofessional. That's why I didn't mention it. Like it wasn't a big deal, you know. Like, but it was just crazy. So I just burst out laughing at her, which of course naturally just made her even more angry. So I wound up waiting for a taxi to come pick me up that day, and then from then on I had his car. And that's how I got to be able to use his car. He like pretty much gave it to me the first like weekend that we were dating. It's crazy. He's like, well, do you want the Jeep? Because he didn't have a license and he had a couple cars. He's like, well, do you want the Jeep or the BMW? You can take either one of those. I'm like, well, the BMW. Okay, I'll take that one. Yes, please. Jeep is nice. I mean, it was 11 miles to the gallon. Ridiculous, though. Stupid. Totally not my type of vehicle. It was jacked up. It was for the kids, and it was their toy. And what, you're gonna let your kids drive around the Beamer? I don't think so. That's not a good idea. Your 7 Series car is like $80,000. So I wound up taking the Beamer and I drove it around for months. I will say though, when I go to see Maria, his ex-wife, at the pharmacy, she is so nice to me. She pretends like she doesn't know me. She gets my shit for me right away, no questions asked. You know, so I would drive there. I have in the past to try to get my stuff, and it's worked. Even though it's a little bit further, it was at the corner of Sumter and 41, which was coincidentally where Brandon worked at Michelangelo. So I would run into her after the fact, just because of the location, proximity, geographical proximity. We were close to one another, so I would see her there and again. Just very bizarre. I noticed she dyed her hair blonde. I'm not saying that has anything to do with me, but I just think it's funny. I mean, it's not like he left her for me. She had already cheated on him and they were getting a divorce, and he finally found happiness. Like, she wasn't happy with him. You know, I was happy with him. I didn't appreciate him at the time as much as I would today, you know, and I wish I could tell him that, but I don't know where he is. But he was really good to me, and he spoiled me freaking rotten, and I just went off my hinges because I was too young to appreciate what he gave me. So I would like to contact him, honestly. Maybe I will one of these days. I don't know. I'm almost home. It's a long drive getting back. I forget how far it is from Englewood sometimes. It's not that far though, but it really isn't. It's only like 8 minutes. I guess we'll find out in a minute. Yeah, I definitely want to reach out to him, and then also to Steve on Siesta Key, because he helped me out so much, giving me money for the car. And again, I didn't really think about it at the time and wasn't really appreciative of it, and it was another relationship that was just didn't go anywhere because I was young and foolish. So, not that I'm old now, but I'm certainly more wise than I once was. So here we are. Alright, let's put the top up. Oh yeah, I got Dominic this laser disc earlier, just for shits and giggles. And I wonder how he's gonna react to it, because like it's an, obviously obsolete technology, and they only had it for, I don't even know, less than a decade anyway. Alright, signing off.